you decomposing? What are you breaking down? We are breaking down scope. And by scope, what do you understand? If someone asks you 6 months later, what do you understand by project scope? Are you able to explain? Now, my answer to this question, I'm not going to give you the answer because I've given you this answer several times. That doesn't mean that I'm going to leave you in the lurch. So get it right, yeah? Now, I would like you to write down or have your own soft copy version. Possible to enable the chat box to all participants, so you know. No, this is a setting made by Leeton Academy. In fact, in the past I was requested this, so I won't be able to do that. Yeah. So you have a mic, please. That's why I'll encourage you to speak. When you speak, it becomes known to every participant. Yeah. So thanks for that request. Thanks for that note. But back to the yeah. So.
Hi, sir. Can I use based on construction site or like building, like building construction based on you use based on predicate, right? So if I use based on building construction, is it okay for this template?
No. See, okay. I'll answer your question. Just a minute, right? So I think there is some misunderstanding. So now see, Rizwan, good question. Let me answer it slowly, yeah, so that everyone understands. Let me restate the question so that everyone understands what the question is. If I am right, you are telling me that can you use a construction industry template for the breakdown? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Now I have to tell you all that there is no specific template for construction or oil and gas or IT or finance. The template, there is nothing called template. What you need to understand is understand this, and please all of you understand the concept of what is WBS. WBS is breakdown of scope. And just now I was telling you, if 6 months down the line, someone is going to ask you, hey, Rizwan, tell me what is project scope. It can be Rizwan, it can be Haikal, it can be Anthony, right? So this question can come to any one of us. Now, are you able to answer that question? It's a very simple question I'm asking all of you, right? To the entire class. If someone asks you 6 months from today, tell me what you understand by project scope. What will you answer? Now, I don't want the answer. I want you to ask this question to yourself. This is not typically any assignment on the IU, on the LMS. This is a side work that I want you to get used to it. It is voluntary. There is no compulsion. There is no grading. But this will facilitate your learning. If you as individuals want to take ownership of your learning, not just getting the cert, you want to ask some of these questions. Take a notebook or take use of dedicated Word document, whatever that you have. Put your questions. What is project scope? This is your own self-homework, okay? I'm not even going to look at it. But you are free to share the answers with me if you want me to validate. I'm happy to do that. Why I'm asking you to do this is, see, I can be talking several times. Project scope, project scope, project scope. Project charter, project charter, project charter. I'm talking probably 100 times in the module. Now, what is it that you take away from that word, project charter, WBS, identify risk? What do you take away? Are you able to say in 1 or 2 sentences of your own words, without referring to any other resource? Hey, yeah, project scope. Then it is a test of your learning. This is individual. Please, I'm not going to, if you want me to give you a list of questions, I can do that. I'll have to compile though, I don't have it off the cuff. But these are things which you want to understand. Now coming back to Rizwan's question, WBS. What is WBS? What is the starting point of WBS? Why do we need a WBS? These were all answered yesterday, but I will repeat. Thank you very much. Project scope is equal to all the product feature. 100% correct. Thank you for understanding it. You may not have any online resource, or even PMBOK guide may not give you this formula. So if you come back and say, hey, PMBOK guide does not give me this formula, where do you get it from? This is for your understanding. Once you are able to mind map the internal concepts, the nuts and bolts concept of the project scope, you can never get wrong. In your mind you say, all the product features combined equal to scope is 100% correct. People do not generally, I have seen learners don't relate these two to each other. They get into a very academic zone where they are looking at, oh, project scope is a conversion of the collect requirements into product. Is a deliverable, is a product, is a deliverable. But all the product features, I mean, when we say all the product features, it means product. If you say, hey, I want a pen, what is a pen? Define a pen. Whatever you define pen, and whatever it is not. Pen is not, it cannot write with a graphite lead, right? Assume, I'm not talking about the multi color pens, yeah, forget that. Normal pen. What is it? Will it write with lead? Pencil, you use lead, correct? Graphite lead. It is erasable. Pen, you know there is some ink, either the fountain pen ink or the ballpoint pen ink, whatever is, there is some ink, right? So that's an essential difference, isn't it? So when you describe all the features of a pen, that becomes the scope of a pen. And what is not included will be outside the scope. Thanks, thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate your feedback. Okay, so now coming back to this Rizwan, you asked a very good point, right? I'm very happy that that question came up, because that will address the doubts of several learners in this class. Now you start off at WBS with scope. Scope is something which is 100,000 feet. They say, we want a condominium. We want the project deliverable is a condominium or a swimming pool. Now, swimming pool is a motherhood statement, right? If you tell me, if you give me $1 million and you say, I'm the project manager, hey, Chari, you are the project manager, give me a swimming pool. That is your project deliverable. Now, will I be able to give you the swimming pool which is acceptable to you? I can give you a swimming pool. I can make a 10 by 10 swimming pool. I can make a 20 by 15 swimming pool. I can one which is only 2 feet, 2 feet depth, right? Or I can make it 16 feet depth. If you don't give me the specifications and you say swimming pool is a motherhood statement. So anything I construct, whether it is 10 by 10 with 2 feet depth, or 100 feet by 40 feet with 8 feet depth, 16 feet depth, gradual depth, right? That is also a swimming pool. I can do an Olympic size swimming pool, or I can do something called like a bathtub kind of thing and say that is a swimming pool. You will have to accept it. Why you will accept it? Because you only ask for swimming pool. And for my definition, I'll say anything that has stored water and where you can swim is a swimming pool. Now you see, that is scope. And the scope, if your project sponsor tells you, hey, give me an e-commerce application. Please deliver an e-commerce application as part of the project. That understands that. What does it tell you? When the customer or the sponsor is telling you, look, give me an e-commerce application, what it tells you is that you are not going to construct a swimming pool. Correct? You will construct an e-commerce application. Features, it should support 50 users, 500 users, 50,000 users. It should support some merchandise of 10 items, 100 items, 1 million items. Complexities are different as we go deeper and deeper in defining what the project deliverable is. So, collect requirements. The sponsor and the team will tell you what they want. Define scope. is what the project team, of course, in discussion with the sponsor team, they will not do it alone. They can do some homework in the background, but they will also have to come and meet and discuss and then validate it, right? Because there must be, the scope has to be agreed between both the parties. Who is the two parties? Always the project manager and sponsor. Remember that. So, what was I saying? So that's the scope.
Hi sir.
Yeah, I got a message.
Hi sir. The
Yeah,
message from me. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
My classmate actually asked this question about whether you can use a building or construction as an example.
For what?
Huh?
No, repeat that. Come again.
Just now my classmate asked you a question. You're using this as a credit card for. You're using credit card as an example to show the product breakdown structure.
Yeah.
So his question is, can we use a building or construction to make a product breakdown structure?
No.
Then you said you will explain, no sir. You said you explain. You talk about pen, you talk about ink, you talk about pool, you talk about water, you talk about. But you haven't answered his question, no? 10 minutes
I
has
have not
passed.
completed, my friend.
Huh?
I have not even completed. I'm
You
still
got
in the
another
process.
20 minutes about pool and pen and then what? Cushion, sofa, then you tell us the answer, is it? So we don't have time, no. We are trying to get our cert and diploma here, no. Not to listen to you, no. Then you
Okay,
ask us to go and
okay.
guess and then let you validate. Then what time will you listen?
Okay, that's a good point you have said. Very good point you have said. Thank you very much for that update. What you say, I listen to you. Okay, fine. Okay, so let me repeat what I understood that so that I get it right. I don't have mistake what you are saying, so that everyone gets. This is VPeng, right? VPeng telling us that you are only worried about your diploma and your cert. Is that correct?
Sir,
Mr.
don't need
Vipen.
to me. Sir, don't need
Mr.
to me.
Vipen.
Everyone is the same. We all
Don't talk
worry.
about everyone. Talk about yourself first, please.
I agree.
Who is that I agree? Can you tell us?
This is me, I'm Dolina here.
Yes, Lina. So what is your
we
requirement?
don't have much time here. Yeah. We don't have much time here.
So what are you saying? You don't have much time.
No, we want to do our assignment ASAP. That's all. Yeah, we need a guide for that.
Okay. How many of you have this? I'm fine with whichever approach you want. Lina, I
I
get.
think everyone here, we really need a guide because we don't have much time. We don't have 2 months or 3 months to learn. We only have 1 month, you have to understand that.
Okay, if anyone else wants, I can go it very fast. No problem. I can do it very fast. If you don't want to learn, but you want.
Sir, you're not understanding the point. Even you spend 30 minutes to explain one thing, you're not going to the point. You're going around in circle, and then we don't get any answer from you. We need to go to Google to find out the answer. No. So why we listen to you for 30 minutes?
I can guarantee you, Google is not going to give you the answer, my friend.
So you want to bet?
No, let's not get into that kind of argument, okay? I'm not here to. The objective of this class is not to get into beds and all, okay? The objective is for me to teach you and for you to learn. Now, I have been asking you all this time. You could have sent me a message saying, okay.
Hey sir, now I'm telling you, every one of us is thinking you're talking so much but not getting to the point. And I'm telling you, but you are aiming me out and then single me out because I tell you, no.
No, beeping. I'm not singling out you. What did you say?
No, you say what? So, you realize
I
that
said-
meeting,
I said-
I'm not happy that I am not happy that you are taking this too slow or what. Anybody not happy, no? Me and Norina voice out
That's
lah.
why-
Because we voice out, you know. The others who don't say that, you don't know what, sir.
If that is what everyone wants, I'm fine with it. I never.
So if I may speak, I think everyone here has been used to how the previous sessions have been going, the previous modules, where because the course is not that long, it's like maximum 3 weeks we have. It's like studying in uni, so we don't really have much time to take our time and read and whatnot. So
Okay.
also,
Okay.
we are also worried because we want the cert and everything.
Yeah.
So if no offense, I mean your teaching methods are good and whatnot, but I don't think they suit this system because of the time we have. So I think the main priority here is time. So it will be good if we can focus on things like getting the assignments done and then moving on to the project as well, because again, really the time is really important.
If that is the view of the class, I'm fine with it.
All right, sure.
And I am not here to single out anyone. I wanted to get the consensus. That is why I said, how many of you agree? Now, Leena said she agrees. Anup Singh, you are agreeing.
Maybe
Now,
you can
is there
ask
anyone who
everyone
doesn't-
to reply in the chat.
Let me put it this way. Let me assume that everyone wants it to be on fast track. Now, I would want to ask someone, is there anyone who wants to go or who wants more from a learning perspective? If that's the silence is the answer, I'm fine with it. I can go very fast.
Want it fast, but you want it short and concise. Like for example, WBS. Just teach us the skill to how to read from the project scope and convert it into the WBS step by step.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like giving us something general and then how do you picture it? You don't really have the time. You don't have the luxury.
Okay. Noted, Jason. Okay. I heard your point. I'm fine to change to whatever you.
Yes, sir. Excuse me, sir. Sorry to cut in now. So actually, what the rest are meaning is that from the perspective of assignment 2, perhaps you could like explain the steps from that perspective.
See, yesterday, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yesterday, what did we agree? What did I run it by all of you? I said this morning class we will probably cover scope and schedule, and then we will leave the evening 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. session for your entire assignment work. Right? So I started off explaining it. So I'm fine with it. Let me switch on to the mode that you want. I'm happy. If you think I'm not switching on to the mode that you are want, please feel free to feedback that to me. Okay?
So perhaps you can share screen, because I've got one pertaining to assignment 2, just very short.
I was in the midst of the sharing of the screen.
Just very short question only, very brief.
Yeah. The WBS, yes, absolutely, no worries.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No problem.
Sorry for the interruption. Thanks.
No. You feel free to make it interactive. That's what I've been telling you. I mean, this feedback you could have given me even before, rather than making it as a sort of, you could have given it in a positive tone. That's what I would think.
So type in the checkbox, sir.
I've been trying to be as communicative as possible. And if suddenly you say okay, and you don't have to get agitated about it. That's what I felt, right? Let's go ahead. Let's forget what has happened. You want on the fast track? Let me share with you what it is. I'll answer to the point. So others who want me to explain, I'm assuming that you're all
Answer the question, no. So can my classmate use building or construction as an example to make a product breakdown structure? Yes or no? You don't tell me no. No means no, cannot, or no, don't know yet.
Okay. Can you leave me to continue? You have said this, whatever you have said, you are repeating it again.
You haven't answered the question, sir.
Can you open and share the screen with you and then answer what about it?
Sir,
Can you leave me to deliver the way I want to deliver it? Of course, on a fast track mode.
So can you just answer?
You are not giving me time to answer, Mr. Wei Peng.
Okay, sir, I wait for you to answer, okay? Don't talk about other things. I want to see your answer first, okay?
No. See, unnecessary talk, don't talk, please. Okay, class, back to WBS. This is scope. You start with scope, you break it down. The first thing that you want to do it in WBS will be always your scope that comes in first. So in this question, what is the question that you have in WBS 2? Can I go back to the question? Do you have your question open?
Yes, I have it.
Question as well, so that I can relate to your assignment as you all want.
Yes, you can just give me the rights to share the screen, then I can relate to your.
Rajiv,
Yes, just a brief question only, related to assignment 2.
give me a minute, Rajiv. Let
Yeah,
me
sure.
go to that.
Yeah, take your time, sir. No worries.
Yeah. Let me stop sharing, then only I can give you the right to share.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Rajiv,
you.
you want to share the screen? Okay. Let me. Gilda, right? G, right? Okay. Assign privileges, right? Yeah. So what is the privilege I have to give you? No, change to presenter. Change role to presenter. Okay, I am making a presenter, Rajiv.
Okay, can.
Yeah,
I click on it. I click on the icon.
Yeah. Are you able to?
I can't see your. Okay, share my desktop.
Ah, yeah,
Okay,
okay,
I got
fine.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, ask me what the doubt is. Yeah,
Right.
go ahead.
Okay. Quickly. This sentence, right?
Yeah.
How do I factor this sentence into this diagram? Where is it?
Ah, that's good. Very good. Very good.
That's
question.
all. That's all the question is, sir. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for asking.
Basically, is this last
So,
sentence?
Okay. What is the problem statement? What is the scope? OPS, right? Order processing system, right? So supposing you are doing an order processing system, what is the work that you have to do? That will be your starting point.
We have to consider like logistics and then the software, so on and so forth, delivery or invoice.
Everything related to the OPS. Now, what comes if you are doing a software design? What is the first thing you can think about?
How do I write my software? The kind of modules.
Very good. So you will have something called functional specifications. You will got something technical specifications. Someone has to do what the product is to do, correct?
Right,
So
right.
what does the order processing system do? So how will you plan for that project? One is the project management aspect. Within project management, you will have planning, you will have scope, you will have WBS, you will have schedule. So planning could be one column, right?
Okay.
And within planning, you could say, okay, you could break down saying like, how will you start? So for an order processing system, probably you are going to do a design, a blueprint of what the technical specification is. A solution architect will provide how the modules should be designed, what are the various modules, what are the technical specifications. Sometimes it's not only the software modules, it's also the processing capability, right?
Right, sir. So to summarize, in this sentence, I would start from here. I would say software, let's say accounting software, then database, and then man hours, and then.
Yeah, but remember to put a verb. Always try to put a verb.
Okay, let's say a particular design.
For example, design the code, design the solution design.
So the
design code.
particular work will come over here. That means sentence. This sentence will be in a diagram would be expressed over here. Am I right?
Yes. In that, instead of the 23 and 13 that you have,
Yeah.
something like procure hardware,
Oh, I see.
specify hardware requirements. Someone has to specify before you go to the vendor and procure hardware. Some solution architect must say, hey, your server you must have 3 servers, 2 servers. It must be with this configuration. The configuration will be decided by the load that the OPS is going to do. If the OPS is supposed to handle a small end user base of 1,000 users, then you may go for 1 server.
Oh,
If you're going for 50,000 users,
I see.
the configuration will change. It will be far higher, isn't it?
Correct.
Memory, the CPU, everything will be higher.
Right. So everything I will express here, no? The hardware,
Always remember to use a verb.
procurement,
Procurement, procure hardware.
23 and 13.
Hardware specifications. Procure hardware, install OS, install the application, do beta testing.
So for example, 23 can be focused on hardware. Then 13 can be focused on.
Both, right? See, OPS will be both. There will be some components of. See, if you look at OPS as a pure software, that is fine. You can go ahead.
Okay. Understand.
If you think that OPS is a holistic system where you're going to deliver the software and the hardware, it's left imagination. You just say
Got it.
at the boundary at the top, saying that my OPS is going to be a pure hardware system. Okay, then I don't expect any hardware at all. It will be only software components.
So over at this level will be just software or a particular hardware that we are focusing on over here, whether
Yes.
is a hardware or software.
No, OPS, the name of it, it is definitely a software.
Okay.
But you want to just give software. Sometimes you also package the hardware because software is dependent on the hardware.
Okay.
If you only software and you don't bother about the hardware, then it's an assumption you want to make, then there's no need for you to mention hardware.
Okay.
But if some of you think, hey, let me do the software and hardware as a solution that together forms my OPS, that is fine as well. See, there is some amount of flexibility. Please
I
understand,
see.
it's not cast in stone.
Right. So we can combine it here down at the lower levels, whether we
You could.
as well over here as well, here and here.
Anywhere. Just curious, the 745 are just some numbers, right? Random numbers, right?
So this sentence would actually be in reference to these two levels, this 23, 13, 7 and 45, combining software and hardware, if possible.
You may want to separate it, if possible, yes, but you want to clearly separate software and hardware in the box. You put them as clear box. Don't put software and hardware in one process.
Okay.
Because there is not one technical staff who is going to be a specialist in software and hardware. Remember, the purpose of this WBS is to allocate work to your team members.
Okay.
So when you hired your team members, you would have gone for a Java developer, you would have gone for a Python developer, you would have gone for a hardware specialist. So if you combine two pieces of work, different works, how will you allocate it to the team? Because the team is specializing in certain types of work. If it's a Python programmer, you give him anything to do with programming, he'll do
Right.
it. But if you ask him to configure the server or router, or he is going to struggle because it's not his strength.
So there's actually a specialization of work to be done.
Exactly. See, that is how teams work, right? Even if you look around your company, wherever you have been, you would see that people are doing, the accounts guy will do only finance. But
Correct.
we have an audit guy. The audit guy may know finance, but he will specialize only in audit work. So if you are mixing audit and finance work in one work package, how are you going to split it? It becomes joint responsibility of two people. Then each one will blame the other. You
Correct.
want to be uniquely accountable to one individual or team of individuals.
So actually, sir, to summarize, we have to break down the task into its simplest form.
100% correct. Starting from OPS, the order processing system.
So here's our main scope.
Main scope is ordering process system. So when you break it down, you will not leave out any important portion of the OPS.
Right.
All the components, all the features of the OPS should manifest somewhere in the diagram below.
Correct.
It's done in a hierarchical, it's in a grouping, right?
Right.
Breaking down, right? So
Correct.
the children should not be above the parent. The children must be always below the parent.
So for example, sir, don't mind,
Our child,
Yeah.
it's only the level, right? The OPS is a parent of WB, WVP, DO. Now W is a parent of X and T in your diagram that I can see. So X and T are children of W. Q and E are children of P. 23 and 13 are children of Q.
Okay.
23 and 13 are grandchildren of P. I mean, we will not, 2 or 3 levels will go.
So basically, these are all dismemberment of this whole scope. This is the parent, the grandparent. I mean, the main scope.
Exactly. So 23 and 13 are great grandchildren of OPS. Can 23 and 13 have children? Possible. Depends on the nature of 23 and 13.
I see.
Write code. And if you have two teams, one is Java team and one is Python team, then you can say write code, and then you can break them into two children saying write Java code, write Python code. You will assign the Python code to the Python specialist and Java code to the Java specialist.
Right. Lastly, sir, sorry to keep everyone. So basically, I can.
You are sharing something which is very important for all of us, all the learners. So please please go ahead. So no need to screenshot. Yeah, go ahead.
So actually, what I thought of doing is that I can break it down. Let's say a module whereby mobile and where would this one fit on my diagram?
Okay, see, okay, go back to that diagram. Yeah, so see, okay, very good question. And now, no, go back to the assignment itself. Yeah, now, see, the question is asking you to provide modules. For example, in the top, they're talking B2B and B2C. Before where you have highlighted, it is asking you to provide a B2B and B2C operations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Above your, just slightly above. No. Go back. Go up, slightly up. Yeah. If you see the exercise itself, create a WBS for OPS, order processing system, for an e-commerce company that is developing the software to allow the company to venture into a B2C and B2B model. Okay. Now B2C, B2B are variants. The underlying software requirements should be 90% common. So what you may want to do is design software code. Design the specification. First will be, generally you start off with functional specifications, technical specifications. So define the functional specifications, then define technical specifications. Under defined technical specifications, the B2B and both B2C will be two children because technical specifications are common for both. Okay?
Oh.
And then if you go likewise, you can say within the software, okay, you would want, yeah, go ahead. So
This
here
one,
you may want to say design.
this one would be B, and this one can be C.
No. Go back to B and C. Okay. Which is B and C? No. C. Okay. Yeah. So no, the B2B and B2C will come under X and T. They are lower level.
Over here.
Yeah. The common overriding factor will be the OPS system, which is on the scope. Within OPS now, I'll give me 5 minutes, let me explain.
Can.
See the OPS order processing system. You forget everything else and just visualize what is the work to be done. This all starts from the work to be done. Now here, the work to be done is, first you will gather the collect requirements. Do you remember the collect requirements? You want the sponsor to tell you what he or she wants. Collect requirements is your first point. It's a verb, collect requirements. Define scope is yet another verb item. So collect requirements, define scope. You will collect requirements for both B2B and B2C collectively. I mean, as in one exercise, group exercise called collect requirements. Collect requirements, you can then make it as collect requirements for B2B, collect requirements for B2C.
Oh, I see.
Just follow the project management module where you say collect requirements, then you say define scope.
So we are talking about a B, a C, and a B can be children.
They can be children, yes.
So it can be defined either here or here.
Anywhere, they are children. But understand the work, overall work, that's why I said 5 minutes. Overall work is collect requirements, define scope, and then what will you do from your solution architect will be there. He will design the module, right? Based on his modules, based on this design of the software, the developers will take over. Each one will write different codes. One developer may write the code for B2B, one developer may write B2C code, but they are all developers, correct?
I see.
So developer will be a parent level. Write code is a parent level work item. Under write code, you can have two children, write code for B2B, write code for B2C, because code may be different. But together they are only writing code.
Okay.
And then once you write code, what do? You test it, isn't it? You will have code review, isn't it? Code testing, isn't it?
Right.
Before you do unit testing, you will have code review. Some code reviewer will come and see, hey, is the module code written correctly? Then you do code review. And then after code review, what do? You do a unit testing.
Then I can have like testing over here, Q and E testing.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
just to ask you one question, sorry Raji.
Yeah, it's alright.
So for the parent, for write code and test code, that can be a separate parent, right?
Very good. Correct. Write code is
Correct.
one activity because it is done by one set of people. The test code is done by a different set of people. Testers generally don't write codes. And
Okay,
the
understood.
code writers don't do the testing.
Okay, got it,
There's a
right.
demarcation in the
Yeah,
testing.
thanks, man, thanks.
Yeah.
So that means,
And then, yes, and again, you can say test code testing, you can have unit testing, you can have system integrated testing, you can have UAT, user acceptance testing, right? You can choose to put UAT in as a separate column also, doesn't matter. Why? Because you are going to involve the users. In a system integration test, you may not involve the users.
Sir, so the parent need not be 5 lah, can be more than this. If let's say our parent there's more than 5 lah.
Repeat that, I didn't get it, sorry.
Like, okay, for Raji Fund there is 5 parent column, right?
Yeah, you can have 5, you can have 4, you can have 3, doesn't matter. There's no hard and fast.
There's more than this lah.
Can have, no problem at all. You can have.
Oh, okay.
See, the purpose, if you understand the purpose which I will tell you, is to be able to get the entire scope distributed across various work items, that various boxes that you see. And you should be able to allocate. For example, in Rajiv's slide, there is a box below which says 7 and 45, right? 7 must be able to allocate to one particular skill set of stuff. 45 will be different skill set. It can be Java and Python, it can be tester, it can be code reviewer and code tester, different categories of people.
So it's just to separate it out lah.
Yeah, the skill sets need to be separated. Because what you will do with the WBS ultimately is the project manager will say, hey, allocate job 7 to Mr. John, allocate job 45 to Mr. Tan, allocate T to Chari, allocate K to Eichel, and so on and so forth.
When you say allocate to the person, right? For the person itself, do I put it in parent or as child?
No,
For the person itself that is allocated.
Person is the objective of this is to allocate to a person, but the persons will not come here. It's only work items that will come here in this. It's
For the
purely
person
work
will not come
items.
here.
People will not come, the roles will not come, but they will keep the roles in mind and do the.
But just now you were saying allocate is to be done in WBS, so got me
That is the
confused.
last objective. Right? No. That is the ultimate purpose of WBS. Here we are not looking at the ultimate purpose. That is for you to understand what is the use of WBS. If someone asks you what is the use of WBS, you will say it is to break down the entire scope into manageable work items that can be readily allocated to people with different skill sets.
Okay, so the person is not inside here to be allocated.
No, we are only doing planning. The persons will come only when you say acquire team, which is in execution.
Okay, understand.
Before you onboard the team, this is a work which you are doing on paper. So that you are ready. When your staff comes, you should not be waiting for work to be allocated.
Alright, thank you, sir. Sorry, Rajiv. You can.
No worries, no
Yeah,
worries.
no. You actually brought up a very good point. Thanks.
No, these questions are answers. So it's good that we are having this discussion. Yeah.
So we are actually breaking it down into the lowest level would be writing the code, and then here would be 45 can be testing the code.
Reviewing the code. The next column can be testing the code. Yes. 45 could be review the code. Your T can be test the code. Your K can be unit test, user acceptance testing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Again, please, it's nothing cast in stone. It's a very, very fluid document, and that gives you. Just remember that it's all action items, work items. That means it has to generally start with a verb: create, develop, design, test, procure, initiate, complete, close, audit.
Oh, these are the keywords.
These are the keywords. Absolutely right.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear.
Can everybody hear me? This is Jiba. So I just want to clarify. I know where you're coming from training point of view, just to want us to understand by through self-study or whatsoever, the material provided. So I understand this. But that's why I heard some of my classmates, talking about this, their concern, their frustration.
Yeah.
So I think the whole thing, there's a big gap down here.
Yeah.
So because for the past 4 modules, this is the 5th module, we do not face much problem because most of our teammates here,
Okay.
they are technical people.
Right.
So I believe
Right.
myself also, we are not good in those writing. We are the hands-on man.
I understand. Yeah, I get.
So come to this PMP, this project management course,
Yeah.
I believe it's totally different.
Yes.
Different ballgame.
Agree with you. Agree with you.
Huh?
Yes.
And now come back. That's why we have difficulty on all this analysis work.
Correct. I understand that.
You understand, huh?
Yes.
So I try to become a moderate.
I can understand. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to end up, then we have a very bad ending. That's no good.
No. See, as all of you say, it's a 1 month course. After 1 month, we go our ways, right? In that 1
So
month.
can you let me finish first?
Please go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Then it's easy for both sides to think back. So
Okay.
what I think is like that. So we are the working people. We are not young people from the school, a lot of time to learn.
I get it. I get it.
Today we want to have this be clear, and then they are going back to the workforce.
Okay.
So that's why we are here,
Okay.
right? And then
Okay.
here, how do we can pass out? Is because we need to competent.
Correct.
How to competent? Because we need to complete all the assignment and
Yes.
all the project report
Yes.
and go to assessment. Then we
Correct.
can get competent,
Correct.
right? So
Yes.
in fact, this is our voice.
Absolutely.
Platform,
I'm
right?
listening.
Yeah, listening. You let me finish the whole thing. Then I think
Yeah.
it will be easy. If
Yeah,
not,
go ahead.
Keep on in the loop, and no end.
Okay.
So I don't think that's the objective of learning. you
Okay.
see. Right?
Okay.
So this is our requirement. We want to
Okay.
finish the assignment
Okay.
as quick as possible,
Okay.
and then we get competent, and then
Okay.
certified, and then we just go back to the workforce. That's it.
No
Right?
problem. No
That's
problem.
the main objective.
Okay.
If I come to learning, different person, I believe they have a different learning phase.
Correct.
Some of them is a family man, family woman. They not only for study, they still got the house to look after.
I can understand that.
Children, things like that.
Yeah.
I think if you really ask them, just back to the college, 20 years, 30 years ago, for me, my academic is 40 years ago. So it's not, I would say not possible, it's not that easy. Because your absorption, everything is slow already. The digestion, it's not like before, right? So they are very excited. If I cannot make it, how? That's why they're getting a bit frustrated. I think to be fair to them,
Okay.
understand?
Okay.
Now coming back to here,
Mm.
I just take this one as a particular example for this OPS.
Mm-mm.
So just now, I think you saying that no, because some of the classmates say that I cannot use the other trade, like construction, whatever,
Yeah.
just to complete this. So I think to be fair, I think, let's say I'm your position, I would say, so long you can construct this WBS, you can
Okay.
tell me the concept. I don't care where you get the example. You
Okay.
have to explain to me
Okay.
why you need this. But
Okay.
now you go back to this example, OPS.
Yeah.
This is a software design.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I'm quite sure because I know them well, rather than you, because I know them since 4 months ago.
Okay.
So I think 99% of them is non-application trade.
Okay.
All of a sudden,
Okay.
order processing system, they totally don't know, even I myself.
Okay.
I know there's a B2E, B2C, but next, how do I develop? How do I test the code? So, to us, not many people know. So at the end, they still need to go to Google and find here and there.
Okay.
The more they go, the more they get confused.
Okay.
And the thing comes because of they're running out of time.
Noted.
That is the main problem.
Noted.
So, by saying this, I just hope, I'm not sure whether come to all the individual exercise, are you able to guide us, concentrate on exercise, use the exercises as a learning, you know? For example, this one, OPS. Okay, OPS is a order processing system. It's an application system. So I think from there, we can learn, rather than you just throw out inside the big sea and ask them to swim. Some lucky enough, maybe they can get a life jacket, they're able to survive. But some weak people like me, I'm a very slow learner, and also new to this, so I may not be so lucky to get it right. You understand? Just
Okay.
Exercise number one, I don't know how to follow. I just based on whatever I can listen to you, I just imagine myself. Yes, if I can pass, I'm happy. If not, how? So I think this is the main worry of the classmate. I think so. So if, of course, the classmate here, if they don't agree what I say, you can just PM to me for my mistake. I just try to speak on behalf of the whole class, to learn something, to get ourselves competent and pass. That's it. So that is a thing we need to learn from each another to understand my side and your side. Of course, from the trainer side, I agree. You have certain how to say assignment or certain target to meet. This one I do understand, right? Because I myself is an in-house trainer before. You got certain things you got to meet, you got to clear. This one, there's no doubt. You got to follow the syllabus to teach. You cannot anyhow teach also. This is I also agree, right? So for this particular one, these two modules, we're going to be together for another 1.5 months.
Yeah.
I won't say it's very long, but it's not short. If every day we come to this argument on all this because of this.
No argument. Yeah,
is
no argument.
this thing.
No, Mr. Ip, I told you, right? Can I speak now?
So actually, I rephrase my department again. Actually, what we want is, we want to have a happy learning. We learn something. At the same time, we can get competent with the confidence rather than I scared. You see, some of them even feedback. I submit the assignment already. Haven't marked. I pass or fail. If you tell me last minute, left 2 days, hey, you are failed, you got to redo. Then where got the time? So this is one of the concerns. You understand?
Okay.
I think that's all for me. Thank you
Okay.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yip, for.
I hope you take it as everybody, and not only you, to take it positively and move on, right? That's all. This is my try to
Mr. Ip,
share. Thank you.
I think for the few sessions that I've been talking, I've been trying to make it as collaborative as possible. I've told you all, I mean, not you just, that whatever feedback you want to give, whatever doubts you have, whatever questions you have, please put it. Right? This feedback, it could have gone to me 2 days back also. I would have been happy. I'm not a person who is negative, who is not going to do, who is taking it anything offensively. I listen to you, I hear you all. You have beautifully summed up what the other two learners were mentioning. And if that is the voice of the class, I am fine with it. But now if you are telling me that all of you are overlooking one particular statement which I have been making. I said I will work with you in a collaborative environment. That should have addressed many of your anxieties or concerns. But I think some of you did not get the message clearly. It's possible because of your own anxiety. As you said, many of them have got other family responsibilities or other part-time job responsibilities or whatever, right? So it's possible that people have not heard me. Maybe it's my mistake that I have not communicated very clearly. But what I thought I was saying, and if I look at the performance of the assignment 1, people have done wonderfully well. And this will not stop with assignment 1. I would take you all the way through assignment 6 to ensure that this level of learning happens. But if someone of you thinks that it's only certificate oriented and you don't want learning, I have no comments. Well, let's stop these discussions at this. I'm okay with whatever you have said. I'm okay. I commit to going with what you want. And if you think I'm straying away, please give me a gentle reminder like what you're doing. It can be a very friendly reminder. It doesn't have to be a harsh reminder. You don't have to feel that, you know, the trainer is someone who has to be, you know, challenged. It's a friendly environment, I said that, right? And please take the liberty of giving a very nice feedback. When I say in a nice manner, that's what I'm saying. You can express whatever you want, but make it nice, gentle. Can I request that, please? Okay. Any questions on Mr. Rajiv? Is it okay? Clear? Are you clear now?
Oh yes, sir. Quite clear. Thanks for your time.
Okay. Anyone has any doubts? Anyone else has any doubts?
Hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Someone is speaking to me.
Chairman here.
Sorry,
I just
Jiminga. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can you speak louder, please?
Yeah, I just have one suggestion about the assignments.
Yes.
Maybe for the future assignments also.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So like for the assignment 2, right?
Yeah.
I see that there are like a couple of modules. So maybe just for our clarity, like adding on to what Mr. Yi said, like some of us are not very familiar. So is it possible like you can give us, you can show us like how you break down one of the modules as an example, like as a model for us to work on, because I understand that you said that you want us to think ourselves and not like copy and answer. So what I'm suggesting is just show us like 10% of how you arrive at the answer, and then for the rest of the modules we can do it ourselves based on what you've shown us. Is that okay?
Okay. Point noted. Sorry, this is. Pardon my. This is Chian Meng, right?
Yeah, correct.
Pardon my inability to immediately identify your name. Unfortunately, the Gmail comes up. Let me wait. I share this. Let me share this. Wait, why is my? Oh, okay, Mr. Rajiv. I'm not able to share because the system is not allowing me. Wait, let me take back the control, Mr. Rajiv.
Yes, I've already clicked on the release button.
Oh, okay. It's not allowing me to do that. Okay, let me try.
Let me try again.
Oh no, let me try. Okay, I'm now the presenter. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
I had to go into a different. Now I can share. Thanks for that.
Okay.
Now, okay. Thank you, Chian Meng. So let me share with you what you are asking, right? This is the closest I wanted to give it to all of you. Right? This is what we discussed yesterday also, right? Now, in the place of monthly transaction report system, you will have a OPS, order processing system. Now you want to ask yourself, is planning, design, develop code, initiate procurement are all possible? Then at least that one level, the 10% that you said is already level 1 and level 2, level 0 and level 1 are already there for you. Level 3, level 2 and level 3, level 4, I would want you to use your own imagination, use your own words. Am I answering Chian Meng?
Yeah. Actually, I was thinking like maybe you can do sort of like for maybe planning, you can do like all the way to level 4 and then the rest you do outside.
So planning again, okay. Now, okay, the level 0 and level 1 that you do will be common across all application processing system, application systems. Now you want me to zoom into planning. I will give you a clue. Let me know if that is not okay with you. Then I will give you more information. Let me unshare this. Why not able to? If you want me to go deeper, I will go. There's no problem. I'm giving you what I think I should give you to get you started. If you think you need further level, I'm happy with it. So if you are asking me planning, this document should help you. You don't have to go through all this, right? This is a very, very detailed document. You can pick one or two from there. If you pick up only define scope, I'm fine with it. Define scope and create WBS. If you pick up in schedule, define activities or sequence activities or develop schedule, that's fine. I don't want you to put all the processes. Is there any way you upload just now? Oh, okay, I can do that. Not an issue. Not an issue. This is what Alex Long, right? I will upload this overview chart. Not an issue. Soon, yeah. During the break, I'll do that. I'll put it in the. You have the Teams meeting. There is a file. I'll probably explain to you where I'm doing it. Should not be an issue. Okay, I have Alex Long. I see your question on assignment 3 later. Yes, I will do that. Now, Chien Meng, do you want further inputs? And when I say Chien Meng, it's the class also, right? So it's not only Chien Meng. Okay. Again, from whatever experience you had, just for the class, sorry, I just completed, thank you. Whatever experience you had in assignment 1, don't you get the level of comfort that 1, you will be able to do it, 2, that I'm not leaving you alone, that I'm reviewing your answers, I'm discussing very openly with you. Don't you get that comfort? If you don't get the comfort and you want me to give you sample answers, I'll give you. It's much against my value system, but if that's what the class wants it, I'll give you the answer.
So your method of teaching is actually very good.
Okay.
It allows us to absorb all the knowledge that you are giving us. Except that we do not have that time frame to really follow into your method, because for the rest of our module, what the instructor does is like what Chien Meng has suggested lah. He will give like one part, and then we know where to start, so we can follow through. Rather than we do something, then you check. We do something and then we check. We do not have that luxury of time, you see. That's why God gets a lot of people concentrate much on this.
Okay, you are explaining it beautifully well. Now I see the bigger difference. Thanks, Sisan. I don't have the luxury of having seen what your previous module lecturers have done. So I'm completely, that's a black box for me. But you are privy to it. And now, understand, as Mr. Ip rightly said, this PM project management course, you saw the slides, number of slides, like 656 slides. So we are not going to cover all of them because many of them will
understand.
That's why I don't go. I want you to understand the broad aspects of project management to the extent that you will be comfortable in telling anyone, look, I have done a project management course. That's my intention. But if other module lecturers have been giving you, as Mr. Chien Meng said, give me 10% or 20% of the problem resolved, and then you want to go ahead, yes. And to that answer only, I said the PowerPoint slide that I just flashed across, the level 0, level 1 is already 10%. Now, Chien Meng requested, okay, can you go down in the project planning?
Because most of us doesn't know where to start, you see. That's why we are stuck. And then we need to wait for the next module lesson to wait for you to clarify with you. That's why on our own time, we do not know where to start. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why as Chen Ming say, it's good at least we can follow something on our own after that, you know.
Okay lah. So what I will do is, okay, no, I take your point, and as I mentioned, there's no offense. The only thing I was feeling is, hey, why do you guys don't take me into confidence? Yeah, and then, yeah, you want me to give you more, I will give you more. But what I'm going to give you more will be drawn from this. Let me tell you what is the source, how my approach is, so that gives you also an insight into what the approach should be. Now I can pick randomly some of this and use it in my document. Give me 10 minutes. Let's do one thing. It's 11:04. Let's take a short break, maybe 15-20 minutes. In that 15-20 minutes, what I'm going to do is probably, as Chen Meng said, and as you said, and as all others alluded to, I'll probably give you one column of it, or maybe one more level of it for the OPS. Is that okay?
Alright, sir. Thank you, sir.